But it's not only the players who are working hard this preseason. So I thought we would broaden the lens a little bit and hone our focus on some other people having a big off season. It is a pleasure to shift that focus to my guest today, Troy Naba, the Dockers guitar guy on the roof. And he joins me now, Dockers guitar guy on the roof. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Troy Nababan. How did I go?
Pretty close. Nababan.
Troy Nababan.
Yeah, you're close enough.
Thanks for having a chat, because this is one of the most unique jobs, probably in the world, I would say. I want to know, what is it like being up there in front of a full house at Optus Stadium? I think, obviously, a full house is nearly 60,000 people. You're looking down on them. They're so pumped. You've got them in the palm of your hand.
Yep.
What is that feeling like?
It's pretty much exactly as you'd expect. It's pretty exhilarating. The adrenaline is huge. It's funny because it's so short, particularly pre-game, that the amount of energy that you have, it's just over before you know it. But it feels incredible. It feels incredible. And yeah, I'm really lucky. Like, anyone could do this gig. I'm really lucky that I'm the guy that gets to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, how did it come about? That's I'd love to know that, because I think 2019 was the first when this started.
2019 was it, yeah.
But how were you the guy?
Well, it's a pretty funny story. It's not actually that funny of a story. I was driving, and I obviously didn't check my phone because you don't do that. But I may have seen a message pop up saying, "Oh, there's a can I call you about a really weird gig about my agent, my booking agent, Champion Music? Yeah, can we just talk to you about a kind of a weird gig?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And I called them back, and they said, "Oh, yeah, the Fremantle Dockers need a guitar player to play on the roof. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Okay." And that was it. Here we are 6 years later. So
no way.
Yeah, no audition. Maybe they would have got probably someone with less luxurious flowing hair, so it would have been a disaster for everybody. But yeah, I'm the guy. So
that's cool. Let's have a look on the roof. Okay, so you're up there. Well, not this roof.
Well, it's a ceiling. So okay.
Yeah, good point. You're up there on the roof in front of 60,000, as we spoke about.
Yep.
What are you looking at?
That's a great question.
Because I know a guitarist, you don't need to look at. Sometimes I'm not a very good guitarist, so I need to look at my strings. But I know guitarists don't look at their strings.
Yeah, I can do it blindfolded. The playing part's fine.
Yeah.
It's well, okay, technically speaking, when I play the first chord, it's up in one part of the neck, and the second part is a little bit higher. So as long as I can get from there to there, the rest of it is pretty easy. It's a very disconnected experience, because I'm not sure if you're or anyone watching or listening is aware of in-ear monitors. So I have the my guitar, and I have the track in some earphones.
Yep.
And that's what I'm listening to. So I don't really have the crowd. So if people are loving it or people are hating it, I'm a bit oblivious to that. And there's a little bit of delay as well in terms of if I look at the screen and I do my movement as well. So it's not an instantaneous sort of a like feedback.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of what I'm looking at, I'm trying to get a general sense of if people are enjoying it or not. I'm looking at my feet to make sure I'm not walking too close to the edge. It's kind of a lot of things, I guess. It's the most fun thing is, probably the 5-10 minutes before, being able to look over the stadium and see how many people are there and watching people filter in.
Yeah.
And again, watch the show, like the event that a game is, or that game day is for the Dockers.
Yeah.
Fire and explosions, maybe not explosions, but fire. And yeah, I'm just trying to take all of that in and get myself all pumped up. So if you watch, I don't know if people have noticed this, but I sometimes choose like that as the right time to do some stretching, which is maybe not super appropriate, but it becomes a bit of a, pre the event, or maybe just before I'm about to start is the time I'm just trying to get the most psyched up. So
that's so good. You mentioned like you were looking, downwards to make sure you don't get too close to the edge. Have you ever had, of course you haven't fallen off, you're attached to a clip, but have you ever had a slip up there?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a couple of slips, but I wear sneakers up there all the time, and that's comfortable and easy. I tend to wear my shoes out to the point of exhaustion, so they do get a bit slippery there. And the flooring is okay, but if it rains, I mean, I will go up and do the gig, rain, hail, shine, thunderstorms, like apocalypse. I'll go do it because it's awesome. And the more drama surrounding it, the more fun it is for me.
Yeah.
But in terms of, the slipperiness, I just have to be a little bit more aware. And obviously, if I do slip and collapse, I'm harnessed in, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing more than anything else.
Okay.
So that's happened a couple of times. The more embarrassing thing is the harness that I wear. It goes, not to be too visual, but it does go sort of up between my legs or around my legs.
Oh, yes.
And
classic harness.
But what happens is if you jump, then it will grab. And so there's a few times when I've gotten a little bit excited, I've lifted a little bit too far off my tippy toes, and then I come back down, I go, oh no, I can't actually put my feet flat on the thing anymore. So you can release from that, but in the throes of the show and the excitement, it's a little hard to, unclip yourself. So there's been a few times
And you're playing with a major wedgie.
I'm playing with a major wedgie and trying to hide it. So there's enough distance. I think maybe people can't tell. It's quite funny, but
oh my God.
Yeah, it's a hell of a thing. One more thing actually, just to say, because now that I think about it, I do look at the big TV screen as much as possible. Only for the fact that I read a wrestling thing years ago, and one of the guys said, make sure you check what people are seeing. If I'm just in my own world playing, I don't know if I've got my back to people or not. So I try and play to the camera a little bit more.
Do you ever, maybe just for a split second, just look at that screen in those 30 seconds leading up to bounce down and be like, whoa, this is amazing. That's me.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not in those sort of words. It's usually... I don't look at the screen so much. It's usually just like taking the entire environment in and saying, yeah, this is really, I don't know how I got here, but I'm very grateful to be here.
Yeah, I assume you're not completely fearless, but obviously you don't have a fear of heights, do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have a fear of that gig anymore, but it's been a really slow transition. The heights aspect of it has been a pretty slow transition over 6 years because the first few, they didn't have the little bridgey part built. So there was no harness. I could just play on the walkway around the side. There was a railing. It was all safe and happy days. And then in that scenario, the scariest part about doing the gig was getting up the top, because there was just one section that had some stairs where you could see, and this is just outside of the stadium effectively, but you could see all the way down for however many, like 100 meters or something down. That was really scary. But doing the gig itself was fine. When they built the platform part, the first couple of times going out there was a bit hairy. And just standing out there was a bit... And the whole thing moves too. So if you jump up and down, if you walk, you can feel the platform sort of go up and down. So it took a little while, but it's fine now. And yeah, it's just... It doesn't matter, Mike. My job is there to be entertaining, and I have to be fearless as much as I can be. And it's a really strange thing, what I am grateful I get to do is like I get to confront, like this might sound a little cheesy, but people's biggest fears are heights and public speaking.
Yeah,
I kind of get to do both in one hit. So yeah, it makes me feel like I have some amount of power is the wrong word, but I feel really confident to be able to stand there and say, look, if I can do this, I can probably do anything. But, in terms of it all being part of the show, I've asked several years in a row when they'll allow me to, flying fox all the way down. Because why not?
God.
Why not?
Imagine that. You're playing...
We Will Rock You or TNT.
Down a flying fox.
I've asked, but, hasn't happened yet.
We'll get on that.
Hasn't happened yet, Kelly.
So I've asked you about a slip. Do you ever think, oh my God, what if I drop my guitar?
Yeah, it comes up. I mean, I use the guitars over in the corner. We can have a look at that a little bit if you like. I do have strap locks on it, which are quite safe, and they do attach an extra harness part to it, just in case. So in that regard, I'm not super worried about it falling onto people. I've been worried about my glasses falling. I've dropped picks before.
Yep.
And it was quite funny. I had someone message me on Instagram saying, oh, you dropped a guitar pick and it was on the field, and I asked security if they could get it for me, but they said no. I said, oh, that's a bit strange.
Dangerous.
I've got millions of them, so
picks are dangerous,
Yeah, and probably not great to have on the field, but anyway, I try not to do that. But I'm quite a clumsy person, but thankfully the strap locks help out, and I haven't had any slip-ups just yet.
Do you feel personally responsible for Fremantle's energy levels in the first quarter? The boys, the players themselves, do you feel personally responsible?
No. I would like to claim that, but I think in reality I'm one of about like a half a dozen things to get everybody pumped. I'm not sure what they can hear.
Yeah. Well, maybe, yeah, they're probably super tuned in.
Yeah, maybe. The obviously the punters that are there, I'm trying to get them amped up as much as possible. But the players themselves, I'm not sure how much general sound they get. But hey, if they want me to play something, I'll drop a little something in for them.
You know what? You have played this song at every home game for 2019. So the best part of 6 years. Do you even practice it anymore?
No, but it was pretty hairy the first few times I did it.
Okay.
It was pretty stressful, but yeah, now it's just...
Yeah.
And same as TNT, I do that post-game, and I've been playing that for 10, 15 years prior to that at cover gigs every week, so that was mostly okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a quick, maybe we always do a sound check, so I'll run through it then, and then just hope for the best, and usually rip some other scales. I usually play some Whitesnake to get myself all warmed up in sound check.
I'll be honest, as somebody who works in the media, and I'd also like to think I at least know my footy somewhat, Fremantle's a genuine premiership contender. Yep. Does that make you even more excited?
I'm excited for finals. We did one final in 2022 versus the Bulldogs, and that was just, firstly, it was the coldest I've ever felt in my entire life. But outside of that moment, it was amazing. The energy of the stadium I've never felt it like that before. So I'm excited for that possibility. Yeah. And obviously we're still chasing that first premiership. So that's everything surrounding it. It's more than just a gig. It becomes unfortunately, it becomes a bit of a lifestyle, this music and footy and the whole shebang. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm really excited. This is going to be a good year.
I really think it will be. You kind of walked into my question. What's the most memorable rooftop play that you've had? Is it that final?
That was a pretty big one. I think that was a good 60,000 sort of people. Or I'm not sure if we've got to that. Maybe 57 or 58 or something.
From memory, it was every part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really big game, and that was really fun. So I'd probably say that one. I played Dave Mundy's 300th, I think it was.
Yep.
I think I played his 350th as well, maybe. I've got the Mundy 300 shirt that I still wear.
Yes. Sir Dave Mundy.
Yeah, so that was pretty memorable, because I think when I started doing the gig years ago, I didn't quite, again, I was really fresh back into footy. And so just knowing who the players were, I was like, when I was a kid, I feel like getting to 200 games was just a really big milestone. And this guy's doing 300. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I know a bit more context of what that meant. But that was quite memorable. But also over the COVID year, because I think we did about 6 games. I played the first one of that season on the roof.
Yeah.
And the weird thing was, I think we were at half capacity for the stadium. It was a derby as well.
Yeah.
But there was a little period of time there where the entire, obviously, as we know, the whole world was shut down. But I'm the guy playing to like 20,000 people. It's sort of in the world. That's not really
particularly at a time for musicians where your whole industry shut down, right? There were no pub gigs, there were no gigs, but you're playing on the roof.
Yeah, so that was memorable. Maybe not for a positive reason, but for you look back at that and go, man, that was really strange. So I'm lucky to have been able to do that.
Look, I think I know the answer to this because I've heard the passion in your voice. But do you love it?
Of course.
Do you love being up there on that roof?
I'll do this as long as they'll have me do it.
Yeah.
It is literally a once in a lifetime gig. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful to Fremantle, everybody, for letting me try it. And that's what I say. I'll do anything that they want me to try. It's not it's no question.
Yeah.
Let's just do it, basically. Yeah. And it's
keep it rolling and rocking.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I love it. It's still one of the most exciting things I get to do, and it probably ever will get to do. And there will be a time when maybe that stops. So I'm just trying to make the most of it while I still can. So it's been amazing.